In this session we're going to talk about market segmentation. Now, market segmentation simply means dividing the market up into segments which have particular requirements, particular product requirements, and companies who engage in market segmentation identify specific markets, identify the segments within the markets, and then attempt to meet the customer requirements within those segments. Now, the basis upon which the segment is drawn is the subject matter of this session. So let's have a look at market segmentation. Markets may be segmented in various ways. For example, it could be a geographic segmentation, or a demographic, or a psychographic, or a behavioral. Now, these four are the main ways in which markets may be segmented, and these will form the subject matter of the rest of this session. So we'll start with geographic segmentation and see what that means, and see the basis upon which it's based. So we'll start with geographic. Now, it divides the markets into geographic areas. Different regions may display different characteristics and preferences and behaviours, so that the segmentation and the product variation to meet the customer needs within that segment, that may have to be tweaked in such a way as to address the needs specifically. However, in a region nearby, that tweaking may not be required. The product may be slightly different again. So it is changing the product to meet local requirements. That's what really we're talking about here. I read somewhere that McDonald's in India make lamb burgers rather than beef burgers due to religious practices. So they still have McDonald's, but it's different. It's been changed because of geography. So the beef burger has become a lamb burger to meet local requirements. And this means that large multinationals and global businesses and brands find this particularly useful, so that they're able to modify their product to meet local requirements and thereby extend their reach, extend their sales. Now, the types of geographic variables used in segmentation. Well, it could be the region, the country, the state, the city, the town. So simply just taking a state or taking a city and targeting that city on the basis that the people in that city share experiences, share lifestyles, share a particular culture perhaps, and that enables the business to, as I said, tweak its product, change its product, modify its product perhaps, very slightly sometimes, but just vary it and place it in that environment for the people to purchase. It will satisfy a need. It may be that there's no physical alteration to the product. It may be entirely a marketing exercise to make the customers in that area aware of the product and that the product will address one of their needs. It could be done on the basis of the size of the population. That's another way of segmenting. It could be different states have different population sizes, so that picking particular states may be more appropriate at certain stages than others. It depends on the production capacity of the business as well. If the business has significant capacity, it may take a very populous state to try and market its product and aim for big sales, significant sales. But of course, there is no point in getting significant sales if there is no production capacity to meet that. Size of population is a basis for geographic segmentation, as is population density. Urban, rural and semi-rural. People living in the countryside may have different requirements to people living in urban settings. Living in the rural environment, people have different needs. So that could be used as a basis of segmentation. And the climate may be different. For example, back to India for a moment. The north of India and the south of India may be radically different in terms of climate. Well, it is in terms of climate. And that means targeting both of these will require looking at the segments and the requirements of each segment and perhaps altering the product to meet both requirements. But it is possible to view the market as being different according to that characteristic. Next we look at demographic. Well, demographic could be on the basis of age, gender, family size, all of the points I've got on the slide. Each one of these may influence the marketing plan, and segmentation may be based on each of these. For example, let's take age. Well, customer needs and wants change as they get older. Marketers need to consider packages, promotion, pricing of products to accommodate different age groups. Examples include older customers prefer different holidays to younger customers. Also, music preferences change as a person's lifetime. So what we have is differences due to age, and it's not due to geographic location. They all may live in the same area, but they are totally different markets. So there is segmentation on the basis of age. It could also be done on the basis of gender. This is one of the most popular variables for segmentation because it corresponds to different buying behaviour and it's easy to measure. Organisations develop products aimed at males or females, such as clothing, magazines, cosmetics. So that's easy to measure, who's buying what and how are the sales of the male products or the female products holding up under certain circumstances and so on. So it's easy to measure. And gender is a popular one for segmentation. There's also family life cycle. Individuals pass through a range of family roles during their life cycle, starting with the dependent child. That's where we all start, moving into young single adult, then a married adult with children, then an adult with independent children, and finally a sole survivor. It's like the life cycle. That's our life cycle. And at each stage in the life cycle we will have different requirements, and at each stage we will constitute a different segment of the market, which may be addressed by the marketeer, the marketers, the marketing professionals, to satisfy our needs in that particular segment. So our buying preferences change as well as affordability as we move through that pattern, that path in life from child to older person. Our finances change as well. We have less responsibility as we get older because children have moved away and become more independent, and at the early stage there is more focus on the needs of family. So segmentation may be based on simply which part of the life cycle people are in. Could be based on income. As income increases, individuals' expenditure increases, generally speaking. There are three common ways to measure income. Total income before tax. Then we've got disposable income, which is our income after tax. And we've got discretionary income, income that we may spend if we so desire. These may be accumulated savings or just money that's unspent in the budget and which may be available for discretionary purchases. Not for necessities, but for luxury items perhaps. Demographics may also be based on occupation. In the UK, we may classify people under different headings. It's a way that sociologists in particular analyze the population and the different aspects of the population, the different sociological aspects of the population. But in terms of marketing, it may be applied also. So for example, we could start with professional staff and then people in middle management. And we call it A and B, and then we've got C1, which is junior management. So we have an A, a B, a C1, junior management, and then we have C2, which is skilled manual workers, and D, a semi-skilled or unskilled worker. And finally, E, those dependent on the state. So we've got 6 categories in which we may analyze people. We may put them into these brackets, and each of these categories could form the basis of segmentation. So the company may target people, C1 people, which are junior management, people in that sort of role in work. They will have a certain income, a certain lifestyle, certain requirements on them, and they may be ambitious, trying to get into middle management. So products may be targeted at them. Social class. Well, customer social class influences their buying behaviour. Social class determines preferences for cars, clothing, food, leisure, product and services. It's strongly related to the income base for segmentation. So social class, people who are in top management will have requirements for certain cars, certain houses, certain lifestyles, certain holidays. People unskilled will have perhaps a demand for different types of cars, smaller houses perhaps, and different holidays again. So the social class may be used as a basis for segmentation also. So in this session what we've done is we've looked at the various ways in which segmentation may take place, the basis for segmentation. And there are other areas, I'm sure, that could be looked at for segmentation, and in your own researches online there are many sessions based on this type of material. In your own researches you may turn up some that I haven't got here, but for the moment this is a pretty good list of basis for segmentation. And remember, the basis for segmentation is to address needs more specifically and thereby give the customer a better service and promote the interest of the business in terms of sales, in terms of reputation, brand loyalty, and long-term sustainability of the business. That's all I want to say about segmentation, or the basis for segmentation. So thank you for watching.